And we're back.
Here we are. Welcome back to Hills and Twos with our lovely guest here, Aidan Tooker. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, boys.
And I think before we start, I should acknowledge that this episode is sponsored by Run Gum.
Yeah, fresh off the
absolutely
press.
not.
Yeah.
But big news, Nick Simmons stepping down as CEO.
Stepping down, about fucking time. Can I say that? I'm kidding. Well.
What'd you say your impression of him was at Brooks PR?
Oh, we're just going to get right into it.
Oh, we're going right for it.
Well, I get to choose right now if I want to be controversial or not. Right?
This is all on you. Whatever you want.
I mean, I got to respect the dude. I feel like
his times are legit. His
times are legit. And, like,
Olympic medalist. We can't forget that.
Olympic medalist turned entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Like,
you got to respect an Olympic medalist at any level. Is there any information on that?
I know nothing. Do you know why I know nothing?
Why?
Because I'm blocked on Instagram.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so there's that.
Okay.
But
well, go on with that. Explain that one.
We went into a little bit in the first episode. I just disagree with him on a lot of things, and I let him know on that. And then I got blocked. So.
Yeah. So, yeah. I don't know. It was the Travis Scott stuff that
really it was the Travis Scott stuff. But enough of Nick Simmons. So you two.
Yeah. Anyways,
you two are some Saratoga boys.
Yeah, we're from Saratoga. You know, proud of our city. Just beautiful. I mean, if you haven't been there, seriously, stop on by. Uncommon Grounds. If you're not on Common Grounds, where are you?
Yeah, plug it right there.
Plug it. Yeah.
It's a spot to be. Coffee, best bagels in upstate New York.
Best bagels in probably the Northeast. Are we gonna get a little beefy here?
You want to start a fight on the podcast right now? You want to get physical here right now?
Do you have the lumberjack, bro?
If your bagel place is called the Lumberjack, you should be embarrassed.
That's what the bagel's called.
Oh, the Lumberjack?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got a good old-fashioned pork roll, egg, and cheese on a plain bagel. Salt, pepper, ketchup, baby.
All right. Bacon, sausage.
I didn't dig it when I tried it.
You did? Yeah, I was gonna ask. I'm sure Matt had you try it for you. You didn't like it?
No, I don't know. It's like too salty. Like
here, well, I got some pork roll in the fridge. We'll chef one up tomorrow morning. I'll get you a good one.
I mean, I could try again, but it definitely was different. Like I've never quite had anything like it.
It's an acquired taste for sure. Maybe it's just a New Jersey thing, but
yeah, it's just a New Jersey thing.
Speaking of Matt, speaking of Saratoga, and so how far is Saratoga from Syracuse?
2 hours.
2.5, 2 hours. Yeah, it's a nice drive. You just get on. What is it? What's the road called? I don't know. The road that goes west. And you just stay on that the whole time.
So was that
Amsterdam? Easy money.
Was that somewhere you always wanted to go, or what did that decision process look like for you?
Yeah. Well, like Syracuse is like, I guess it's upstate New York. It's New York's team. I guess that was like how it was branded.
Yeah.
Syracuse basketball has always been a thing.
New York, Syracuse, like, is the school.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's like your big state
school. It's like our state school.
Yeah.
And actually, I remember your senior year when you committed, you won Feds, and then Syracuse wins Nationals 2015 in Kentucky. Talk about that. What did that feel like?
It was crazy. I mean, the first time I actually went to campus and like checked things out was like my sophomore year of high school. I heard like a lot of great things. I'd been like friends with some of the guys that were like on the team at the time, whether it was like competing with them like in New York or, you know, I had followed Germano who was running in Albany, and I had been competing against him since I was a freshman on my varsity team in Saratoga. And we should go back and mention that we both went to Saratoga, but we were never teammates.
No,
which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, so you were a senior when I was a freshman. I didn't go to Saratoga until sophomore year of high school. But, dude, you were the guy in, like, New York at that time. And being from Saratoga, like...
I remember hearing about you. Being in New Jersey, like, I remember people being like, Aidan Tooker, that guy is a stud. And this was, like, before I had really transitioned to running distance. And
this was before, like, running media, too.
Yeah.
This was, like, way before that.
I'd be going to, like, New York mile split. Like,
and dude,
people what you ran.
So I first heard about you your junior year when you won states against Brannigan with the dip.
Oh, yeah. That's
dude,
crazy.
I was in 8th grade. I remember seeing that newspaper, you outleaning him. I'm like, holy shit, this is crazy. He's like in my city. And then like I remember doing a workout like at the Skidmore track, and I was running like trying to run my goal mile pace at the time, which was your like 2 mile pace. And I'm like, how is he doing this?
It's crazy because I got a lot of shade for that.
For the dip?
For the dip, yeah. Like on LetsRun, and like honestly, since this I've like really not touched LetsRun or the threads because I just can't handle the toxicity.
LetsRun is a dark place. I was going to bring that up later, but we might as well get into it now.
I mean, yeah.
What are your boys' thoughts on LetsRun?
Well, so people were trying to make it seem like I was a bad person for beating Mikey. And like, I mean, I was just competing at the time, but it became like a controversial thing where people were going after me for like essentially not letting him win.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like there's content there, but I mean, it's a race, isn't it?
Yeah,
and
it's
like,
a state championship race. Are you kidding me?
I love Mikey. Met Mikey before. He's a great guy, but your job is to win the race. That's absurd.
And Mikey was legit. I mean, he ran like 840s. His senior year.
842 at Laux or something.
Crazy.
That's absurd.
And
back then, like 842 back then, especially too.
Yes.
Like that's a big deal now, but then that's
running
a different
that in like
animal.
Matumbo is like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, he's the best sport too. Like
So
I literally
nice.
remember like I beat him and then he on the stand like lifted my hands up or like was just like essentially celebrating me. And just for people to take it and like spin it some other way, or just like that's just ridiculous. People are adding commentary just to add commentary.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of the toxicity of LetsRun, I go on there today because of the Drew and Sal's thing from episode 1 was on there. And for number one, people are saying that a few of the people were like, Jack Salisbury needs to get out of college. He's been in college too long. He's using his eligibility from COVID. He's a stud right now. Like, he's an All-American. Like, you're sitting in your mom's basement typing this on LetsRun right now about someone who's faster than you'll ever be. Like, that's what I can't wrap my head around with LetsRun. Like, I used to get shredded on there in high school just because of, like, the program I ran for. And it just, I don't know. It's an incredibly toxic place.
Also, they don't know what Sal's went through. Like, he had mono for like 2 years.
Yeah.
So he couldn't run.
He couldn't catch a break. And then there was COVID, whatever. I mean, it's just these Twitter figures just sitting in their mom's basement, typing on LetsRun. I think the idea behind LetsRun, like a forum for us all to be able to speak our minds on something we really care about, is a good idea.
Yeah, but
it's so toxic.
Anonymous just makes it toxic.
Yeah.
Because you can just say it and not have your name behind it.
And there was a thread today that said Molly Seidel was overrated. This was her first like bad marathon she's had.
Yeah.
She just won a medal. Like I don't understand how you can say that.
It's crazy because like as an athlete, like you almost get dehumanized.
Yeah.
Like being put on a message board of me talked about, you know, and you know there's something to maybe, you know, like I think it's kind of funny that I'm in Georgetown right now. It's kind of like I'm in enemy territory. Like we may have beef as competitors, but at the end of the day, there's like some level of respect where we might be able to, you know,
I mean, we all
talk trash, but at the same time, we understand that we're all just college kids.
Yeah, we're all going through the same stuff.
Yeah,
the discipline it takes to be at this level and run every day, you kind of have to have a mutual respect for everyone else.
That's something those joggers writing their little threads on LetsRun will never understand. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is what it is, I guess. But like I mean. LetsRun's kind of one of those big media conglomerates in running. What are your thoughts on like the whole, running podcasts and running blogs, kind of the upsurge in that right now?
I think it's dope, honestly. It takes a lot of courage, honestly, to put yourself in this space and also like be on the track because obviously, you're seeing a lot more people do YouTube channels now. To kind of go back to like when I was coming up in high school and stuff, like Instagram was kind of like the thing, right? Like Instagram was the big thing. Maybe a little like Twitter kind of was growing at the time. Twitter's now like kind of evolved into something very different than it was back in early 2000s.
Definitely,
but it's complex because if you're posting and you're getting kind of like the reward systems from social media and from building a base on YouTube and stuff, it can get kind of complex when it comes to like performance. And, now you're not just putting yourself, in a place, I'm trying to figure out how to say it, but essentially like when you get on the track, you're putting yourself out there, right?
Yeah.
And now you're not just doing it competitively and in like a competition setting, but you're also doing it in a space where, you're also just putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
Socially.
You're opening yourself up for critique and essentially like balancing, I guess, an accountability with yourself. Like, I'm not just going to like be trying to do the running thing now, but I'm also going to be trying to sustain, a following or like I don't know, content and everything that comes with that. So
expectations that come with that responsibility.
We've had this conversation before, and I was even thinking about this earlier with Charles Hicks. Like, he now going into the YouTube space, and he's done a really good job of a lot of growth, and he's selling merchandise now. He's grown well.
Yeah,
like, you gotta admit.
No, he's grown well.
But he's getting the results with it, and you got to feel for him. Like, that brings a certain level of expectations and pressure. When you're putting, like, how I run 95-mile weeks, like, videos out there, well, like, those 95-mile weeks have to contribute to you running fast, or no one cares.
We saw that with Spencer Brown a little bit here.
Yeah.
Like, you can definitely tell he was, like, stressed out going to some races.
It's weight on your shoulders, I think.
Yeah. And he definitely felt that pressure, I feel like, going into some of these races where, you know, if you don't perform well, you're expected to, like, explain why. Like, Molly Seidel, I mean, she didn't really say anything except for the Instagram story. But it's just, like, to be in that position where you have to, like, explain. Like, people have bad races. It just happens. But to, like, have a whole following see that and have to, you know, I don't know. Some people just don't understand.
Totally.
Bad races happen.
It's a double-edged sword, right?
Yeah.
Like, you get the opportunity to show the process and to, you know, create transparency, which I think is really awesome for the sport. But at the same time, like, it comes with the expectations. It comes with the weight of carrying not just, you know, your own expectations, but everything that comes with your following and people that are expecting you to do this and that and keep posting even when, you know, shit's not going
when
well,
it's
right?
not pretty. Yeah. I mean, kind of on that topic of expectations, going back to your time at Syracuse, what did that build up going into 2016 look like, coming off of 2015? You know, were the expectations there? What did that feel like?
Coming as a freshman, what did you feel like?
Like, knowing what had just happened before your time there and what was about to happen.
Yeah, it was a really, really cool opportunity for me because I went from, you know, what I wanted in Syracuse was, like, a really great team. I felt like I had an awesome opportunity in Saratoga. I got to be a part of really cool teams. My freshman year, we won the state championship. And I always felt that, like, being around like-minded individuals, you know, just elevated my performances and just made the process way more fun. And I'm just, like, I'm a social person, especially, like, in practice. So, like, having an atmosphere like that was something that I was really looking forward to. And, yeah, like, I didn't know that they would win in 2015 when I committed, but you could sense that there was something going on.
Was there like a good culture kind of surrounding them? You could feel that?
100%, yeah. And, like, you could just tell in the way that those guys talked, like, when I went on a visit and just, like, hearing from them over text, like, there was a confidence in the air. Like, they knew that there was something special brewing there. And so, like, that's what I was very attracted to. And so, you know, 2016, like, there was definitely an expectation, but also there was experience and there was kind of a way of going about things that made it very easy for me to kind of get onboarded. And, like, I was a young guy, like, there weren't many expectations on me. But I also had expectations for myself. Like, you know, I really wanted to be good and I wanted to contribute right off the bat. So, yeah.
Yeah. What was, what did the leadership kind of look like? I mean, you guys obviously had guys like Justin on the team. What did that look like from top to bottom?
Yeah, it was really cool because I felt like there was a diversity of individuals there. Like, you know, it was just a stud group. Like, top down, we had guys that could run under 14 minutes in the 5K that weren't even, like, making the top 7 essentially.
Yeah.
But there was, like, you know, Justin's, like, a very charismatic and, like, high energy individual in practice, and, like, you know, Colin was more of, like, a stoic, you know, grinder type. And so, like, there was a really cool diversity of people that when you got it together, like, everybody was kind of playing their part, whether it was,
that's
like,
cool, yeah,
providing, like, emotional support for the guys or, like,
different
bringing the
characters.
energy or bringing consistency. Yeah.
And I think that's something people don't often see or understand about running, is that the emotional side of it is equally as important, if not more important, than the physical training side of it. Like, you need people on your team or even yourself to be able to maintain, like, some emotional stability, because the sport is so many ups and downs.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys agree or disagree with that.
We talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
Like, the emotional side is, like, 90% of it. Just being able to, like, train and, like, have a healthy mental mindset or mental, I don't know, point of view on running. It's, like, so important. And if you can't do that, then it's, like, it's going to be really hard.
Yeah, for sure.
And it sounds so simple, but it's
But
definitely one of the most complicated
It is
things.
not.
There's levels to this shit.
Yeah, there are.
Daddy, chill.
But so kind of walk us through how you guys go from, you know, 2-time national champs to then you transition into steeple. Were you always a steepler, or was that something that you had kind of looked into later?
Yeah, so kind of going back to my high school team, I think I want to say it was 8th grade. I was trying to make the sectional team for outdoor track, and I was in like a runoff for the 4x8 against my teammate at the time, Gavin Gaynor, who ended up going to NC State.
Yeah, I was gonna say that name
first
sounds
Princeton
great.
and then NC State.
Yeah.
And like he was a stud. And we were in a runoff for the 4x8, and I didn't make the team. And so the coach was like, "Oh, we're just gonna like try you out in the steeple." So me at like, and I want maybe this was freshman.
This
year.
was freshman year.
This was freshman year.
Yeah.
Not 8th grade.
No,
but
you
like,
ran. Yeah, you set like state record freshman year. I remember that, or I remember seeing that somewhere.
And I was like probably 4 foot nothing, like honestly, and like we just kind of tried some barriers out, and then I just jumped into it, and I think I made the state qualifier meet, which was like a super big deal for me at the time.
Yeah, as a freshman, that's like a big deal. Make state quals.
Yeah, so that's kind of how it got started. I think I ran it again at the state meet my junior year, and then my freshman year, it just kind of, I don't remember exactly how it came to be, but it was like, yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna try to make regionals in the steeple, and then, you know, things got pretty crazy pretty quick that spring.
Would you say that's
4th, right?
steeple? Yeah, right.
Just to clear, like you got 4th at NCAA's.
My sophomore year.
Sophomore year, okay.
Yeah.
Would you say that steeple's your favorite event? Because I feel like a lot of people, like, steeple's not their first choice, but they find steeple another way. Like, would you still look at running and be like, oh, the steeple is what I want, what I want to be good at?
Yeah, I think generally I want to be like a great runner. I don't know, I want to run, I want to have range. Like, I love everything from cross to the mile, but there's just something about the steeple and like the extra elements and the chaos that like is super attractive to me and like really gets me going. And I also feel like I'm most confident in many ways. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Also, having the steeple in high school, now a lot of states don't have that. New York has it. Oregon has it, right?
I think so.
So,
like, New Jersey didn't. I'd be interested to see if, like, you know, someone did some research into how many of the best NCAA and world steeplers came, or United States steeplers came from states that their high school had steeple.
Mm-hmm.
Because New Jersey, I never once saw a steeplechase pit at a track, like, at any meet ever. I think there was one meet at, like, a D3 school would have it, and, like, some little local teams in our area would be like, oh, coach, can I please go run steeplechase? And, like, they go around, like, 11 minutes, and, like, that was that. But I'd be interesting to see, like, how many of the best steeplers came from steepling states. I feel like that'd be something to be cool to look
we have
into.
2 guys, right? We have Parker Stokes in the background right here, just expert steepler, and and then Aidan here. So, I mean, honestly, I think it definitely helps. I mean,
it has to help.
It has to.
You get a background in it, you know.
There's a lot of people that I feel like talk about it and they're like, I can't believe you do that. I'm like, if you tried it out, like you just spent a little bit of time getting comfortable with the barriers, I'm sure you could do it.
No,
like,
I remember being...
it's not as easy as me.
No, I remember being in 7th grade, and one of the girls at our school ran the steeple, and we had like a chapel thing in the morning. And so the guy went on, he's like, yep, she ran 2 miles over barriers. And I'm just like, how do you even finish that? I wasn't even thinking about time. I'm like, to just finish the race is like crazy.
So your freshman year, you're saying, yes, like a little bit of injury issues going into that?
Yeah, so I think I first started steepling at UVA. Like, that was the first one I opened up. I ran like a 5K earlier that spring, but I started to have like pain like down by my shin, and we didn't really know what it was, and I got an MRI, and I had a stress fracture in my fibula. And this was like going into conference, and the fibula is like a non-weight bearing bone. So we're just like, all right, well, like, you're in good shape. Like, things are, yeah, why not? We'll just go for it.
Yeah.
So I ended up just like kind of just popping ibuprofen before workouts, and like essentially I get second at conference to Edwin Kabichi, who ends up being the NCAA champ. And like, things just kind of kept clicking like that spring, and I still had this shit going on, but like I couldn't stop.
Yeah,
like
you're rolling.
Yeah,
there.
I was rolling. So like, I don't know how it happened, but I went from running, I want to say like 8:54 at like conference, like nothing crazy, to running 8:39 at regionals and making nationals.
And that was your freshman year,
That was my freshman year,
Okay.
yeah. And I like things just kind of like kept evolving, and like the ball was rolling, but I ran that like whole spring with that going on, and like it really kind of opened the doors to like what I thought could be possible in the event. And also just like, I don't know, it was crazy. It was a crazy spring, and I don't know, I had a lot of fun even with like the little issue like that.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of what's possible, you know, kind of where do you want to go? What are your goals with that?
Yeah, this spring my main focus is going to be the steeple. I like am just essentially dying to get back to running like low 8:30s, and I want to make it to USA's again. I haven't run a PB since like 2019. I had 2 femoral stress fractures.
Those are brutal.
Yeah, like one in the spring of 20. I can't even. Like the last couple of years, just like,
with COVID, the years don't even make sense anymore.
But essentially, like it's been kind of a struggle to get back into the rhythm of like consistent training and like just feeling like myself. But I really feel like I've come around the last year or so. I've got like the most consistent training under my belt. Like I'm having fun with it again. So like I just want to get in good races this spring. I've got Penn coming up after this weekend, and just
Big
like,
steeple down there.
Yeah.
That field's loaded.
Yeah, it's gonna be a stud field. Definitely like one of the best races I'm gonna be in like so long. So I'm pretty excited to take advantage of the opportunity and just mix it up. And
then this weekend, the reason you're here in DC is
I'm driving down to UVA. And the steeple there to open things up. So should be a good field with
against this guy right here.
Yeah.
Let's put a little wager down right now.
Can we get some bets going? Right
I don't know if that's an NCAA violation or not, but
Nick Simmons would be a fan of that.
yeah,
honestly.
I mean, yeah, I guess so. Hey, he's a serial entrepreneur. Okay. What do you think about the United States steeplechase scene right now? Because I feel like a lot of people would argue it's one of the weaker events professionally. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree. I feel like that's a common thing.
Compared on the world stage.
Compared to the world, because it's like Jager's been a lock to make the world teams, right? But then like you got guys like Don Cabral. You got like guys like Travis Mahoney, he actually moved up to the marathon. But I'm just saying historically, like Travis Mahoney, who's a great guy, great runner. Don't get me wrong, but comparatively to like the guys, you know, of his equivalency in like the 10K and 5K, I feel like the range is just a little bit different. What do you think about that?
Well, I think like there's a lot of young studs that are coming up. I mean, there's just such a difference though between like 8:30s and sub 8:20.
Yeah.
Like. Yeah, that's such a big difference, and like we just haven't really seen the depth.
I think I'm gonna make a bet right now. I think top 2 at NCAA steeple this year will be in the top 3 at USA's.
Yeah, I definitely agree that the steeple is the young man's race nowadays, where it used to not be.
We kind of in the 15. I mean, we saw like Hawker and Nagoose. I think that's gonna be the steeple this year.
Similar.
Yeah.
Any names specifically? Anyone you think is going to be any good?
Parker Stokes right now. He's in the room.
That took you way too long for me to bait you into that one there.
I'm like, is it Parker's?
Hey, maybe I'll hop in the steeple.
Yeah.
As we were saying, tomorrow is the 1-year anniversary of my first ever steeplechase and my only ever steeplechase.
How did that go? How did the water pit go?
The first water pit?
Yeah.
Well, the first water pit is way deeper than you ever think it is. And as I was beginning to explain earlier, you know the feeling when you like you're walking down the stairs and you think there's going to be a stair, but there's not, like when you're at the bottom.
And you're like,
so you step too long.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I did. And then just my ankle just went like, and then I keep going. I'm like, oh, I got to hurdle again.
And you had 2.5K to go.
Yeah. I'm like, I got to hurdle. It was the first water pit. I'm like, I got to go again and again. I get to 2K. I tell Bonds, I'm like, my ankle. And I just pull out.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, ever since then, I have been solely an 800 guy. Which is, who does that? Who goes steeple 800?
I mean, that's like part of the steeple is like, I don't know many steeplers that haven't taken a hard fall. Like you got to be able to get back up and like get after it again. And it can become like a fear of just like eating it, or it can just be like, oh, this is a part of the chaos. Like in 2019, it opened up a spot for me when like Brian Barraza like took that horrible fall.
That race was absurd.
Yeah, it was terrible, but like
that happens.
That's kind of the nature of the sport. Yeah,
I mean, it's the reason that Jager didn't go sub 8.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
know? And do you think from the perspective of a steepler, like, do you think that will play a mind game with you as you kind of progress to, you know, more races? Like, do you think Jager's race after that fall, he was terrified of falling?
I mean, I doubt it, honestly. Like, it's one of those things that, like, it's a part of that event that makes it really fun. Like, you're trying to push your body as hard as you can to the furthest spot of exertion while still, like, trying to find the spot where you're going to be, like, still able to hurdle the last lap.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, like, find that, like, essentially that red line, but with hurdles. So it's just, like, another element. And, you know, for a dude that's at that level, he's probably had many, like, different points of failure that, you know, he's rebounded from. And that's just, like, built the mentality and makes him the stud he is.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think his career looks like from now on? You know? He's been around for a while. There's been a lot going on.
Steepling? Didn't they announce he was going to debut steeple?
I thought so.
Yeah, he opened in like 8:30s.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. At Mount Sac, I want to say.
Yeah.
Who won the race?
I think one of his Bowerman teammates.
I'm not positive. We'll double check on that one.
Yeah. Put it on
We'll pop him on the screen. But do you think he's still America's best chance at a steeple medal on the world stage? Or is there someone else?
I mean, it's hard to doubt the dude, honestly.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, he's giving you those results.
So much experience.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you for sure it's definitely not Parker Stokes.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll tell you that.
Last pick. Like, seriously. Oh, he's here right now? Oh, shit.
Oh, God. What do you think about this Bowerman controversy?
I've honestly, like, I haven't put my head into it too much. Like, I really, like, stay out of the running, like, drama.
Yeah, the gossip. Running is a big gossipy community, which is, I mean, literally why we're sitting here, because we're sitting here gossiping about everyone. But it helps us, pays the bills. But, yeah, I don't know. It's just a crazy situation. I don't know how long it's going to stay in the news, but it's been around for a while. I think they're waiting on Shelby's appeals to come back.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of always been... I've consumed, like, a lot of the Lance Armstrong series.
Yeah.
And so I think that there's probably a lot more parallels to cycling, to track and field, than we would like to think.
We talked about that with Matt and Jack. Like, do you think there are a lot of people doping in the sport that you don't know about, like that the public doesn't know about? Do you think there's way more than we know about?
It's hard to know, right? Because
we're talking U.S.
Yeah. Let's talk U.S. for context. Like, what do you think?
I mean, yes.
Yeah, probably, right? But, like, I feel like, from my perspective as an athlete, it's hard to get involved in the gossip and the drama, because then it just is like a built-in excuse. Like, everybody's doping. So, like, that's why they're running so fast.
It's like there's that rumor going around the Newbury Park kids are doping. It's like, no, they're just better. Like, they're better than high school kids. You know, other high school kids are jealous, and they're just stirring the pot that, like, you know, not Nico, what are the Lex,
high schoolers,
and Leo
doping
Lung,
is stupid.
Colin Solomon.
That's just dumb.
Yeah. It's like no high schoolers just shooting EPO. Like,
and that rumor, the Sean Brosnan rumor, he's caught. Somebody said he was allegedly caught smuggling EPO.
Yeah, that is a joke.
What? That doesn't happen.
And they're letting him just around children, coach children.
Yeah. Weird.
Oh no! Watch out for Newbury Park.
Yeah. Also, with the doping on the U.S., it's gray area. Those who are doing it, it's definitely gray. It's
that's like that comes down to the Oregon Project issue. Is like the gray area. It's like how far into the gray area can you go before it's unethical but also illegal?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And, like, supplements, right?
Yeah, it's like we were talking about carnitine before. Like, carnitine is legal until you take a certain amount of it, and then it's illegal.
Yeah, so you just get right up to that threshold.
Yeah.
And then you're chilling.
But yeah, I mean, that's that gray area, and that's where you can debate if that's ethical or not. But it's in the laws. Like, it's the letter of the law. It is legal. So I guess something we asked our other guests that we had on before, is there a runner out there that you want to race specifically? Is there someone that you're like, I want to race him? Doesn't have to be bad blood. All right.
It can be.
People took the other one as bad blood. Doesn't have to be bad blood.
Someone you want to race and someone you want to beat.
I mean, he's in the room right now, like Parker. Like, I can't not have beef with a guy from the same region that, like, honestly has been blowing it up the last couple of years. Like, it's definitely been motivating to me. Like, so I'm pretty excited to race him this weekend, honestly.
Oh yeah. Looking forward to it. Again, maybe on the side we'll make a little non-monetary bet for anyone from the NCAA watching.
Anyone not in college right now will be making bets separately.
Yeah. Do you want to go into that context, or we leave that for another episode? All right. Well, I think we're all set there, right?
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Aidan. We wish you the best.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. I'm excited to see where you guys take this.
Should be
fun.
Fun.
Cool. It's been a good time.
You're on the train early, so hopefully it pans out.
Hell yeah.
You can brag
Early
about
investment.
us. Yeah.
All right.
Hell yeah.
To a jam. Now everything I'm not made me everything I am.